All right, everyone. Steve Metrics here with your boy.
DJ Triggs.
And together we are No Debate Sports 1 week right before the Super Bowl, Triggs. And are you warming up for the Super Bowl?
I was gonna say, oh, you took my joke away. I was gonna say I'm ice cold, but the hot seats were heating up, and now we're firing up for the Super Bowl. So we're hopefully gonna be on fire.
We'll see. We'll see. One thing that's definitely not on fire have been my NFL predictions over the playoffs. I have virtually gotten every single game wrong. I did not touch the NFC Championship, but even in that one, I was thinking, okay, cool. We could probably get a Rams Patriots Super Bowl. That was not the case either. So I don't know. I do feel stronger towards one direction than another, but there's some other cases that I can see the other thing going on. And plus, at the end of the day, there are two quarterbacks that are kind of getting better, but they're not great. So you got that weirdness there too. I'm just gonna probably kind of lay back. The month of January has been pretty good investing wise. But between my NFL picks and seeing silver in my portfolio drop 25% and getting the nastiest whack I've ever experienced on Friday, I think I might lay hands off of the Super Bowl.
Oh man, no prop bets, no cool weird things like that.
No, man. I mean, I felt very strong about the Super Bowl last year. I felt good about the Eagles winning it. Always feel good about like a Travis Kelce touchdown in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Man, beyond that though, like I don't know. I mean, I'm generally not too big on the prop bets, but yeah, this is one where it's like, man, there's too much weird stuff for me that could go almost either direction. I tend to kind of get the vibe almost every other year. This for me is that other year. Last year, I definitely had the vibe that the Eagles were going to knock it out of the park. I do want to say that the Seahawks should run away with this, but you can make a case for the Patriots. You really can. It's just that, I mean, if I were betting the Seahawks, you'd have to put down almost like $400 to win $100. That seems really risky to me.
So I am not able to make a case for the Patriots, to be honest. I've been saying, really easy schedule, really easy AFC. Let me just go through the teams in my head here. If I can, maybe I can look it up really quick. But just thinking about like the Denver game, it was a sloppy game, no offense, 10-7. Then they played Houston, whose quarterback literally threw everything to them to say, hey, we don't want to win this game.
Stroud is just awful.
The week before that, here's their last 5 games. The week before that, they played Herbert 16-3. The week before that, they played Miami, who had given up on the season by that point, 38-10. Yeah. The week before that, they played the Jets, who they've given up on the season since like week 5 when they told us that what was it?
Tyrod Taylor,
Justin Fields. Yeah, Justin Fields was amazing at the beginning of the season, and that didn't work out. 42-10. Now, then you look at Seattle on the other side. Let's go to their last 5 games. Probably game of the year between them and the Rams, 31-27.
Yep.
They played San Francisco for the second time basically in a row, blew the doors off of them, 41-6.
Yeah, they
did. That first time they played them in the end of the season was 13-3. So they shut them down 2 games in a row, and everyone thought, man, San Francisco's offense is really, really, really good. Not to Seattle. Our upset team in the playoffs, Carolina, they blew the doors off of them 27-10.
Yeah.
And then they played the Rams again, also a game of the year candidate, and won by 1 in overtime. all 5 of those games are playoff teams and 2 of the top teams in the NFC.
I think you can even make the case maybe 3 of the top 4 teams in the NFL may all be NFC West teams.
Yeah, I agree. And
like, holy sweet.
and they beat the other 2 twice in the last 5 games.
And definitively.
Yeah, and either shut them down or just, hey, if we got to go toe-to-toe on offense, if we got to go toe-to-toe on defense, whatever you want, this team is there. They're opening as only a 3.5-point favorite. And to me, it's almost insane, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm almost looking at it as, if you do want to bet this game, I would go for the blowout.
Yeah.
I would just say, don't even play the minor points with Seattle. When Seattle wins, they win convincingly. I mean, they win convincingly against teams that are not in their league. I truly think at the end of the day, New England is not in their league. The thing that could make this happen, I mean, we're talking you have to hit on both. So if we're hitting on both, just being pure even, that means they have a 25% chance of winning this. If this is truly even and you have to hit on both, I think the only way they could do this is by putting Christian Gonzalez with safety help on JSN, and they have to shut down the run. They have to. You have to do both. That's the only way you're going to stay in this game, and you're going to have to also capitalize on a Sam Darnold interception. That's pretty much it. If you do that, there's definitely a chance the Patriots can win this. They can do it. Drake May is capable. However, I did see earlier today, Fox Sports showed that pretty much once they hit November, December, late season in playoff football, Drake May does become way more mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very mediocre against them compared to just blowing the lights off of everyone to start the season based on that week's schedule. But that said, I would rather just play the odds right there. That's a 75% chance that Seattle should win this game. And when they win 40-10. That's pretty much how they win. They win 40-10. They'll start stealing some points off you, off turnovers here and there. Game gets a little tight early, and then Kenneth Walker and JSN do things, and you're down 3 scores, and then the game just completely gets out of reach. I would go for the blowout. Whatever the biggest point totals are to win this game, whatever you think. If you can see a difference in points of 21, 14, 10-ish, I would play all 3 of those. I would see if there's a way that I can win off a 10, cover the 14, cover the 21, maybe have 21 be a quarter of what you think winning by 10 is, have, the 14 be half of the bet that would win by 10. So if you only win by 10, you win 25% of this total bet. That's kind of how I would play it. And if you win by 21 plus, you take all of it. Something weird like that. You play with the points. I just don't. I think it's too risky just to play with Seattle just to win. I would just play something with the points, something that's not too crazy money-wise, whatever fits your budget, and play with those points for the blowouts, because that's how Seattle wins. They win by blowing you out of the water, unless you're the Rams or the Niners.
Yeah, exactly. So I just went back to check the game log of Mr. Drake May, right? And at one point, they were pushing to say that this guy was the MVP. Now, his overall numbers, 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, great. Phenomenal, right? Let me just peel the curtain back and just go on his last 4 games. So, plays Denver, 86 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah.
Plays Houston, 179. He had 3 touchdowns and an interception. That's solid.
Pretty good against Houston. Totally.
179, but his completion percentage was 59.
Still Houston. You're pulling that off against Houston. Good. Take it, man. Take it.
His QBR was 20. So,
that's so weird. Like, he actually had a very strong game against a Houston Texan
He
team that is
he
tough.
he had strong touchdowns, but I don't think the
Sure,
touchdowns were because of him, and I think that's what
that's fair.
lowered his QBR. Because I mean, he didn't get any yards. His average pass was 6 yards, and again, he was 59%. So like,
Sure. Against the
hit him.
Texans, that's a win, though. I'll take that. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, if the other team didn't throw 4 interceptions, they probably would have beat him. But
Yeah, that's true.
um,
Yeah.
like, and then to play the Chargers, and he had 260, an interception, a touchdown, and he was sacked 5 times.
I
So
think that's
like,
the best secondary in the NFL. I think
yeah.
is the Chargers. So
Hey,
those
I mean,
numbers against the
Seattle's
Chargers and Texans, that's big.
Seattle's not too far behind from that though.
Exactly. Seattle's right there with LA.
And then let's just throw in for funsies the last game of the season where they beat Miami. He had 191 and 1 touchdown. So like, none of his
Did
games.
he play the whole game, or how'd they do that?
No idea, but I'm just looking at his game log now. On top of that, he's got his stats padded playing the Jets twice, where both times he put over 250. One game he had 5 touchdowns. The other game he had 1. So like, 6 touchdowns in 2 games is kind of nuts. But like, I'm looking at the rest of his games. He lost to Pittsburgh. Then he beat Carolina and Buffalo, and he lost to Buffalo the second time. And guess
The
what?
second
That's
one was
all.
telling. That second loss against Buffalo was very telling. I'm telling you, that was a game he had to win to really show that like you can do it and you can carry a team. And Josh Allen put on the Superman cape and said flat out, "This is what it takes," and he did it.
But by the way, that's all the playoff teams they played.
Yep.
That's it.
Like you gotta play better against those playoff teams. And
Right.
I'm telling you, and not only that, Seattle is a team not in their conference. They did not cross paths with them at all this season. Seattle is and here the biggest thing about this too. What does Mike McDonald want to do on defense? He's only going to rush 4. So if he rushes 4 and makes 1 a spy, that means you're always going to be having to deal with 6 defenders in the secondary. Right. And if they, I just don't think he can check down enough and make enough, progressions to make the correct read and not get a turnover. I mean, almost like the fun prop of this game might be to go with interceptions by both quarterbacks.
That's true. All right, so I did pull up some props before we got on the air here. All right. How do you feel about this one? Minus 106.
Even money.
Sam Darnold rushes for 6.5 yards.
I'll take that.
Right. Like, I was like, what? Okay. I like this one.
Yeah.
George Halana, 11.5 receiving yards. 107. I don't either. But like, apparently, I think he's a 3rd string running back. He did have 14 routes against the Rams. So
is this the guy taking over for Charbonnet?
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha. Okay.
A big one, plus 255. AJ Barner touchdown.
They got some nice tight ends on Seattle. Barner is solid. I actually liked him for fantasy. I was kind of watching his stats throughout the season and seeing him play. Like, he's solid. Bobo is solid, even though he's only got like 4 catches. Like, the way he's made his touchdowns has been solid. But Barner touchdown plus 250 is pretty solid.
Now here's where it kind of talks about the Seattle defense. So for the Patriots, Hunter Henry under 39 yards is minus 110.
I would rather just go like Hunter Henry touchdown.
I mean, I'm going to go against this one and like,
yeah,
just go under.
Is a lot. Yeah, 39 yards is a lot.
And then Travion Henderson, over 24 and a half yards, rushing and receiving yards, is minus 113.
Oh, that sounds really good, actually.
They believe he's just going to get shut down.
I don't see that. He can break that in like one run.
Right. I agree.
And they have a nice offensive line with New England.
And that just blows my mind. But hey, you never know.
That's a weird one.
Then there's some sack totals for Elijah Ponder and Milton Williams. A quarter of a sack each.
Okay.
And nothing too crazy besides those. There is like a 20 plus completions by Drake May, and I am totally under that one. So unless it becomes a blowout, totally under.
Yeah, that's a very good point there. New England is gonna really want to run the ball because McDonald's gonna put so many guys into coverage, which makes the Travion Henderson bet such a good bet because they will have success running the football.
Right.
So that makes sense. The only thing is if they can't keep it tight and they can't get ahead, then it gets out of whack. And then they're going to trail, and then you're going to see Drake May turn into a turnover machine. That's where this could just really run away from New England. I like the Travion Henderson play, man. That's actually really, really smart.
And now the last thing. Super Bowl MVP odds, right? So you got Sam Darnold at plus 120, Drake May at plus 235. Now, this is where you make your money. Mm-hmm. JSN is plus 550.
Okay. I've been hearing some other interesting MVPs.
I got one. All right, ready for this? 30-1, Rashid Shaheed.
Interesting. Okay.
If he gets two big passes, like that could be over 100 yards just right there.
Takes one to the house and a kick. If he takes a kick to the house, I like that. The other thing is I saw that across that list, there's not a single defensive player.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what the odds are, but look at defensive players. I would absolutely put something on Christian Gonzalez. I mean, like what? Sam Darnold was top 3, at least top 5 in the league in interceptions. If Seattle finds a way to lose this game, they will lose on the back of Sam Darnold throwing the rock to all the wrong places. And they're going to have to put Christian Gonzalez with JSN and some safety help. I think Gonzalez could play big in this game. If New England wins this, and Gonzalez has 2 interceptions and at least one of them results in a touchdown and maybe the other results in a field goal, that's 10 points that Christian Gonzalez gets you. And especially if this is a tight game, New England wins by 4 to 7 points, then Christian Gonzalez is your MVP. And he's a great player. I mean, I think he was their first round pick last season. Gonzalez is way at the top of the list. I mean, I know he was on the Bo Nix Oregon team from 2 years ago. So Gonzalez is awesome. I would definitely, of any defensive player, he's a guy that comes to mind. The other one is definitely Devin Witherspoon. He was a great corner for Illinois and started playing outside when he was on Pete Carroll's regime. But that didn't really work. So then he started playing the slot, and Witherspoon is now probably one of the league's best nickel corners. So I would look at those guys in the secondary for sure.
Definitely a first round pick. 2023. He's been a second team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. Obviously came in from college. He was a first team All Pac-12, which, doesn't exist anymore. But at least he tried. Yeah. He was an Oregon player. He did come from Colorado during the pandemic, where it looks, man, It says he ran a 4.38.
Yeah, he's
which is
fast.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can cover anybody. I mean, he was pretty much plastered alongside Cortland Sutton in that Denver game. But again,
Yeah.
too, you got weird weather, you got some weird stuff. I mean, think about it too. Like Nico Collins did nothing. Definitely nothing happened on the Charger game, so that means no Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey, or what's his name, Tyrell Williams, the TCU guy. I might be blanking on his name, but those receivers for LA did nothing, and Christian Gonzalez is definitely a part of that.
Right.
So I like there is definitely a path to victory for the Patriots to win this game. So it's a weird path, but it's a path that they can capitalize on for sure.
Understandable. So, I mean, we both think that Seattle's going to win, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So, what about something that was more surprising? How about coaches? How do you feel about that? There was one coach, I didn't even know he got hired until I read it today.
Yeah, I don't know who really the coach of the Ravens is.
Jesse Minter.
I don't know who that is.
I want to say he was a defensive coordinator somewhere.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll look it up.
Yeah, because they kind of got to fill the void of McDonald. I mean, their defense got way worse after he went to Seattle.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Giants. Or not Giants, I'm sorry, for the Chargers. Sorry. I was looking at the Giants name as I was scrolling through. Right. Chargers.
Okay. All right. Okay. I get it. I guess the thing is you got to get someone who can really toughen up that culture. I would almost say, I mean, if he would have been the head coach, the guy I probably would have gone for, definitely Brian Flores. If I'm the Ravens, Flores would have been the guy I would have gone for.
So he was the defensive assistant under John Harbaugh at for the first 3 years, and then he was also under Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. Then he became the defensive coordinator with the Chargers, and now the head coach for the Ravens.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's kind of a guy who kind of has the Harbaugh culture, sort of.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
And then he took the Bears offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle from Ben Johnson.
Ben's calling the plays, so we really don't know much about this guy.
And then he got Anthony Weaver to come in and be the DC, which I heard his name a lot for head coaching jobs. So kind of cool that he's doing that. He left the Dolphins.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is to me, this is kind of a weird, unknown kind of team with what you got for head coach. Yeah, I don't know. Ravens are going to be kind of an oddball one that I'm hearing about.
Now, the fun part about the Anthony Weaver defensive coordinator hire, he actually interviewed for the head coaching job for the Ravens as well. So it's kind of interesting. Minter was hired on January 22nd, and he brought in Weaver February 2nd.
Okay.
Well, now you just said none of these names are kind of known. You know, they're like the new hot thing going on. But this is the one that caught me off guard. The Tennessee Titans. I had no idea they hired any of these people, but they got all names of like, oh, this guy was going to be a head coach. This guy was going to be a head coach. This guy, like, to bring in Gus Bradley for your defensive coordinator and then Brian Dable as your OC, then to bring in Robert Saleh as your head coach, like, I'm like, wait a minute, all these guys are head coaching candidates. What?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. Like that kind of reminds me of what was it? I think the Buccaneers kind of had a staff like that when they won the Super Bowl. I want to say with Brady, they had a bunch of very interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, Tom Bowles was coaching there. What was it? I think they had Greg. I forgot his name, but he's coaching football at Rutgers now. I want to say. I think he was on that staff. Um, yeah, you got some interesting head coaching candidates that are on Tennessee, and that's where I kind of hope that this stuff works because I really want to see Cam Ward be able to develop over the next handful of years, and I would just be kind of concerned if you lose Brian Dable to either another head coaching job, which I would say he would definitely be up for, or would Dable take a college job potentially. I think he'd be great in college as well. He's got that college coach kind of vibe about him too. So I don't know. Like I'll tell you what, not Jacksonville. Tennessee is a very interesting team going into next season. They will have a last place schedule. They are loaded with coaches. It is very easy for them to flip talent in Tennessee. It is a very hot destination for free agents to go to. You're going to have very good coaching. Salah's going to flip that team pretty quick. That defense just a few years ago before the previous head coach got there, that was one of the best defenses in football for considering how few points they actually scored before the Callahans got there. So I think the fact that you could get Salah, Brian Dable can really work with Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is going to grow a lot. And and the free agents. I mean, this is a very interesting team. I think that you could really get some good value out of, whether it's fantasy or picking them to win the division outright.
Yeah, I agree. Another interesting team is Mike McCarthy going to the Steelers, but we kind of talked about that one a little bit. He does not. It's not based on Aaron Rodgers, from what I hear.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. McCarthy's really good at developing younger quarterbacks and working with them like he did with Rodgers, like he did with Dak Prescott. He did solid work there too. I think he also worked with Joe Montana back in the San Francisco days as well. So he's very solid at working with younger quarterbacks. So I'm curious to see what direction Pittsburgh goes in. I mean, if it's not Aaron Rodgers, they're going to probably go with a guy who is from Ohio State, the guy who just won the national title last season, who was a backup this year. He played kind of okay, kind of average in the games I saw him play for. So it's going to be like that. You're still going to have to develop someone as well. I don't know. It's a weird kind of system that they're in. Pittsburgh is going to have massive turnover with expiring player contracts, players that they got to move on from. So Pittsburgh is going to find their way to be in a position to get young pretty quick. It may happen, but this is a team that's going to have to flip this roster pretty quick in a way that's going to be similar to like Washington and even San Francisco.
Right. So the next team on the list, I guess you can call them Packers South now, would be the Miami Dolphins. Jeff Hafley comes over, defensive coordinator. I wasn't that impressed, but he's the new head coach. Right. Then he brings over a general manager who was, I don't even know, he was player personnel or VP of player personnel, something like that. John Eric Sullivan. He's now the GM. And then on top of that, they bring in the linebackers coach, Sean Duggan. He is now the defensive coordinator. I'm like, all right, man, you can't just steal all the Packers coaches. And then he did promote the senior passing coordinator, Bobby Slowick, as the offensive coordinator. Slowick, I guess, was in Houston for a little bit. He was with CJ Stroud. And then last year, just about anybody that could throw the ball, he was with. So I think that's a pretty solid group of dudes that he could bring in.
Yeah, I also heard too, like this is a team that, for whatever reason, traded away a bunch of draft picks and didn't really have many players to work with.
Yeah,
And also Jeff Hafferly, uh, working with Green Bay. Well, before that, he was with Boston College, and it's
absolutely.
very tough to recruit for Boston College. So making things work, making lemons out of lemonade, is pretty much kind of what he's doing. You bring in a GM that has a good sight for talent with what you guys have been doing in Green Bay the last few years. I think Miami's in a good spot, especially being a last place team in that division. Um, yeah, we'll see how they turn the page on that roster. But that's a team that I think is going to start developing in the right way. I think too, this is a team that is basically going to have open tryouts at quarterback. No more
Yeah,
Tua Tagovailoa. A quarterback that I liked that I wish would have stayed on my team. Cam Miller is there.
yeah.
Uh,
Get my
Zach,
arm warmed up.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
I might
Zach
have
Miller.
to.
Yeah, exactly. You might have to try out Cam Miller, Zach Wilson, and Quinn Ewers are the quarterbacks down there. It could literally go to any one of those three.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers, I mean, was really solid at Texas, so
Uh-huh.
you never know.
Yeah.
Speaking of last place teams, hey, look at that. Another Packers name, but this time the younger brother of Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, uh, is now the head coach for the Cardinals. Um, he's from that same Sean McVay coaching
Oh, wow.
tree, the OC
Yeah.
of the Rams. Like, I mean, they probably struck gold here, but they probably
Yeah.
won't have a quarterback.
Yeah, this is a team that is going to, I see, bring in a new quarterback. I think this is definitely a team that's going to make a play for like a Malik Willis kind of thing. Jacoby Brissett should definitely be in the running. I mean, he played pretty well throughout the season. Give him a shot. Anything that can actually make this offense tick. You're going to have Marvin Harrison there. You got Trey McBride. And I think too, you also have James Conner coming back from injury as well.
Should be. Yeah,
Yeah,
should be.
yeah.
Yep.
They lost a few running backs that got hurt that past season, so you got that going on there. Going to need some rework on defense for sure, but this is a team that's going to be in a total rebuild in the toughest division in football, between the NFC West and the NFC North. It really doesn't get much harder than that at the moment.
Now, speaking of hard and rough and tough, and who knows what'll happen, the Buffalo Bills bring in Joe Brady, promote him from
Yep.
offensive coordinator to head coach. They bring in Pete Carmichael Jr. as the OC, and Jim Leonard, our Wisconsin guy, as the DC. And they hired a new special teams coordinator, Jeff Rogers, a
Okay.
couple days ago. So,
Yeah.
like, they basically just flipped the entire staff.
Yeah, I think the whole plot to their season was they wanted to guarantee that they could either get Joe Brady or Brian Dable to be the head coach. And there might have been something with Brian Dable that wasn't going to quite work. So then they put all their focus into Joe Brady. I think this happened early in the season as well. I think this was something that they always had planned out, to make sure that they could have a better offensive mind moving forward. Plus, the defense was getting worse under McDermott. I think you want to set yourself up so you have an offensive minded head coach who can stick and last with Josh Allen for the foreseeable future. And if you didn't make this decision soon, you would definitely lose Joe Brady to Cincinnati. I mean, Zach Taylor's days are numbered. How in the world they even chose to stay with Zach Taylor after the season ended, I'll never understand. I've heard their owner is incredibly cheap, and that's where this comes from. But man, I just don't get how Joe Burrow didn't say, let's unload the Brinks truck and do everything to bring on Joe Brady. So he was making it work in Buffalo, and Buffalo said, if we don't do it now, we're going to lose him. So they did the right thing, and they hired Joe Brady. I think this is absolutely the right move. McDermott's had questionable games coaching. He's a very nice guy. He's a great guy. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I just don't think McDermott. I know he's been there 9 years, and yeah, it's tough. Like he's a really good guy. Getting rid of him is really tough. But I don't think McDermott's ever been that great of a coach, head coach, to be honest. So I think they're doing the right thing by giving it to Joe Brady and making sure that your OC sticks.
So this guy was probably the most popular head coaching candidate of the week because obviously he's in the Super Bowl right now. He interviewed with Arizona, Atlanta, Baltimore, Miami, and New York, and somehow the Las Vegas Raiders get Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, pretty excited about that one. That's a name that I kind of thought early in this coaching search that I was like, man, whatever team can get that guy from the Seahawks, that'd be a really good pick because he has a family tree line like the Harbaughs do. And whoever's coaching up Sam Darnold in Seattle is doing a heck of a job. I'll give him that. Between that, Kenneth Walker, they score a ton of points on offense, largest point differential in the NFL. They're doing great on offense. So I've been really impressed with Clint Kubiak. I didn't think other people would be, but I'm wrong about that. So that's pretty cool. I heard, though, that pretty much early in this process, he was kind of the guy that was going to pretty much get the job. And he kind of kept this on the lowdown, didn't really want to make much note of it, especially
they can't.
With the playoffs. Right.
They can't.
Exactly. So, yeah, you kind of put this on the back burner, but the fact that this guy's got a brother also working in the NFL and a father who's been a pretty good offensive play caller, I think it's a really great hire for a team that's about to get the first round overall pick in Fernando
Mendoza.
Yeah. So you guarantee your head coach and your quarterback are going to be stuck together for a long foreseeable future. And that's all you can ask for.
I got something for you. So, I mean, I obviously got Ashton Genty, Mendoza, Max Crosby. Like, you guys are going to be loaded if you get some wide receiver help out there. But hear this out. Clint Kubiak is like 37, 38. Oh, man, I did the hand thing. Let me put my hands down. He's like 37, 38 years old. There is not one coach in the AFC West that is under 60 years old. Like, Andy Reid is 67, Sean Payton is 62, and Jim Harbaugh is 62.
You could outlast all of them.
Right. Oh man! Like,
I mean, I don't like hearing about it, but I know Harbaugh's got some health issues. That's serious. Andy Reid is probably going to stick around for as long as Mahomes is playing good. And Sean Payton, to me, burns hot. He burns really hot. He's a great head coach. He is definitely a jerk outside of football. I've seen the way that guy gets interviewed. I've seen how he talks to people. He's a jerk. He's a great coach, but it is who he is. So yeah, you see that going on. It's there. He could definitely outlast all these guys. Wide receivers is the easiest football position to replace. Losing Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers within basically a year of each other, that has to get dealt with. The other thing too that I've heard is it seems like we are in the process of trying to bring in Jim Schwartz from Cleveland. I just heard about that today. Also, I'm hearing Vic Fangio is getting cold feet with Philadelphia. So what does that mean? Like, Fangio is playing the retirement card, but I think that's Vic Fangio saying the ship is sinking in Philly and I got to get out of here kind of thing, like he did with Miami. So could Vic Fangio or Jim Schwartz find their way to becoming the next DC for the Raiders? It's very possible. I just heard about that stuff today.
Solid. Speaking of weird cold feet, I'm not really sure what exactly happened, but I did hear the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monken, who was also the offensive coordinator. OC for Baltimore Ravens, was actually supposed to go with John Harbaugh over to the Giants. And then, boom, gets a head coaching job with Cleveland.
Yeah, and Cleveland is a team that you and I look at as like, this team's actually pretty good. This team actually has players across the board. They have that defense that's solid with Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Like, they actually have a nice team. They just have to get a quarterback, kind of like the
Right.
Raiders situation. So you have to get a quarterback there. I tell you what, considering how Baltimore was run, Cleveland could be a very interesting destination for either Tyler Huntley or Malik Willis.
Yeah. Hey, Cleveland's defense was ranked 4th in the NFL.
Yep.
So, like, you get an offense out there that's even remotely close to solid, like, I mean, average at best, and you got yourselves a playoff team, especially because, you know, like, knock on wood, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are always hurt. And then you don't know who's coaching or who's quarterbacking the Steelers. Cleveland might just slide right in there.
Yeah, Cleveland would be a great pick to win that division, to be honest, depending how things shake out. I think they're going to play with some kind of quarterback that is reminiscent of what Lamar Jackson was in Baltimore. And to me, the two guys that fit that bill are both Malik Willis and Tyler Huntley. And I think they both deserve a crack to become a starting quarterback. So, I think that's the way to go in Cleveland is with that. Plus, it also kind of plays into Shedeur Sanders to try to get him to be better. I mean, he definitely stunk. I mean, he is a Division II quarterback, but you need something to be ready to go should that starting quarterback go down and you got to swap into the next guy. So I think either Malik or Tyler Huntley would be a nice replacement for that.
Solid. Very solid. Yep. Any more NFL buzz that you got going on?
Yeah.
Anything stuck in your craw?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the word I was hearing. I mean, I always heard, too, that the Jets never fired Aaron Glenn because they thought they could not fill the head coaching void because of how poorly run that organization is. So the Jets are probably going to be at the bottom of the NFL next season as well.
Right.
That's something that I heard about. I mean, I think whatever coach is falling into the Jets for as long as they are owned by the current owner of that team, I think it's just a bad job. It's just a terrible job for whoever gets it. There's just no way to truly right the ship of the Jets. And they're a young team too. I mean, they knocked it out of the park the year that they drafted Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. They had another nice player they drafted on defense as well. Like, man, the Jets are a rough team moving forward. I think they're clearly going to be in last place in that division next season. I even think Miami's going to be better than them.
Sam Darnold. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, cough Sam Darnold out somehow.
Exactly.
I don't know. Oh, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that guy was there. Yeah, I mean, it's a team that's probably going to be kind of the end of Justin Fields in a way. Like, Fields will probably bounce around to a bunch of teams as a backup after this. He seems doable as a backup, but the Jets are, I mean, Braylon Allen, like he's going to just kind of not do anything there. It's a rough situation. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson a lot, but clearly the best Ohio State wide receiver now is clearly Jackson Smith and Jigba. So yeah, it's a rough situation they got out there, but I don't know, man. I'm telling you, this Tennessee news is interesting. I would very much keep your eye on Tennessee. I do want to watch those Titans games moving forward. I do want to see the Tubi episode that they did on Cam Ward, so that looks pretty cool. It's very interesting what you have going on down there. And then the other thing too that's weird, that I don't know where this guy is. I thought he was going to get a head coaching job. Cliff Kingsbury, where'd he go?
No idea. A little selfishly, I was hoping there might be some movement with the Packers and maybe he come in as an OC, call some plays instead of LaFleur. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
I thought
have
Cliff did a
heard
greater job actually.
I've heard that he's rubbed some people the wrong way, and the NFL has kind of stiff armed him out.
Wow, interesting. Because
Yeah,
I heard
I heard that on the Four Letter Network
interesting.
last night or this morning. They were
Okay.
talking about his name.
Yeah, I mean, he will probably just find his way to college, is kind of
Yep.
what I'm thinking. He seems like that kind of guy. And I heard too with the NFL quarterbacks, it was a lot of like pleasing and not a lot of like heavy coaching kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's probably a guy who's going to make more money working in college. I just don't think the NFL is working for Cliff.
Right. Yeah.
So, interesting.
So how about we get to the my favorite time of the year here,
Okay.
the NBA trade deadline.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is firing up over here. How about this one? February 1st, yesterday, we got Vit Krejci for Duop Reith.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know who any of those guys are, but that really happened. It happened.
Okay. The only wreath I've heard of goes onto the front of a door during the holidays.
Yeah. Vit Krejci, I hope I'm saying his name right, was traded to the Blazers for Duop Reith, a center. The Hawks also got 2 second-round picks out of that.
Nice.
Then a deal that made no sense to anyone, and it involved the Bulls, the Kings, and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers get Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis, who's a really good young guard.
I like that.
They send DeAndre Hunter, who is a pretty solid wing. I mean, he was a steal last year's deadline. Yeah. And the Bulls help facilitate it. They get Dario Saric and 2 seconds. They waived, I think, Javon Carter. That's off the top of my head. Basically, from what I hear, what I see, Cleveland needs guards.
I like it.
They don't think that they have enough depth at the guard position if someone goes down. So bringing in Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder is pretty solid. The weird part is, and this is telling me there's something on the board, the Kings don't need another wing. I mean, they got Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Right. I'm assuming one or both of those guys are gone by Thursday.
Interesting. Interesting.
And the Bulls just basically came in and got 2 second-round picks for free.
Yeah, I actually, I like that. When you told me the Bulls got 2 picks out of that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Interesting.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I know like the Kings situation is pretty cool. I mean, that's a team that really wants to compete. They just got to put the players together. I think they got the right coach to make this happen. Sacramento's cool. They were just in the playoffs like a hot minute ago, and they've kind of since then. I think Sacramento is a really cool team. Like, I really want them to get better. They're kind of like the Raiders of the NBA. Like, man, if they can put it together, like they're a really cool team. Growing up, to me, they were like the dark side of the NBA. Like, it was the one team growing up with that I thought the Lakers were an underdog against. And I thought it was cool to see the Lakers beat them. But, man, I thought that Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, Sacramento team.
Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Vlade Divac, Bobby Jackson.
That team was nasty. I mean, for me, like when I think of like best starting teams in recent memory, like I do put the Kings up there. I put the Spurs up there. I put the Ben Wallace and friends Pistons up there. The KG3.
You can't talk about that. The Detroit team. One of those guys are illegal now.
Ben
Chauncey
Wallace?
Billups. No.
Shoot.
Can't,
that guy.
Can't talk about that.
Oh, shoot.
Doesn't exist in history anymore.
Wow, bummer. That's a bummer. No, that team was super cool. And Yeah, I think I said. Oh, and definitely, I mean, everyone says, yeah, it was a stupid super team, but dude, I did like the Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and friends Golden State Warriors. Like
Agreed.
that to me was one of the best teams ever as well. So yeah, like those Sacramento Kings, they're up there. Like I would love to see them come back to power because I've heard that their stadium, when it gets nuts, it's like the Milwaukee Bucks, it's like the Brooklyn Nets, it's like the Boston Celtics crowd. It's a crazy crowd they got there in Sacramento. They have one professional sports team there for now. Actually, they might be getting the Oakland Athletics while they build the new stadium. But
Like
Sacramento,
the beam.
exactly. But Sacramento is a really really cool team. I hope they get it back soon.
I mean, too bad they're blowing everything up now, but obviously De'Aaron Fox was sent to San Antonio a little bit ago. Like I said, DeRozan and Levine didn't even seem like they were supposed to be there. And
Yeah.
I'm hearing buzz that Sabonis might get moved. Like
Yep.
he's the last All-Star they've had. Like it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like all three of those guys, they're all coming to the end or they're not hitting. They're going to have to flip hard. I don't know how much they're going to get in return, to be honest, as well. So it's tough. It's a tough situation they're in. It's tough. But then again, too, I mean, you look at like Detroit and how Detroit rose to power. Detroit had what we all thought was a really good coach from Phoenix, and they just weren't that great. And then out of left field, they pull in the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers and just put it together. And man, watching the Pistons play now, holy smokes, man. They got a lot of guys. I don't know who they are, but man, they play great.
I love it. I don't know who these guys are, but they are balling. Like,
Yeah, they are.
Hey, that's the best way to describe it right there. Like when you look at teams like that, like perfect example of that is the Atlanta Hawks, right?
Sure.
So they go and trade Trae Young to the Wizards. They bring in CJ McCollum, who I really enjoy, and Corey Kispert. You would say, okay, two pretty solid players. Like I think CJ McCollum is always a fringe all-star.
Yep.
Like let me just run down his points. He's averaging 18.6 points a game.
Solid.
Like I trade Trae Young and I get this guy who's shooting 46% from the field and 38% from three. Like
that's a win.
And now you're telling me he's the sixth man? Like, that's crazy. Okay, listen to these stats. 18, 23, 13, 23, 21, shooting like 60% in the last 5 games. Like,
that's funny.
That's insane, right? Like, and so like I'm just looking at deals like that, and I'm like, wow, Atlanta. Well, look out. Dyson Daniels, who is their big defender, is at the 1. They got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who most people didn't even really think about him. He gets thrown over there, another defender. Zachary Richase, they drafted the French kid. I can't remember. He was a top 2 pick, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Jalen Johnson is an all-star. And Aneka I'm going to mess up his name.
Sure.
Aneka Okongwu, I have to say it slow, is a beast at center. Basically, forget all about this. Kristaps Porzingis is on this team. So they have another trade piece that they can move and make another deal.
Oh, wow.
That's why people were talking about maybe the Bucks being Giannis getting sent down there because they can match those salaries. And that's one of the big parts. I guess let's go to the Giannis sweepstakes, right? Like they talk about the Heat, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, and the Knicks. Lots of teams are being aggressive. And from last thing I heard is the Bucks are being ultra aggressive and hitting counters to everything people are sending them. Now, here's the thing. to me, it doesn't make any sense to trade him now. I know he doesn't want to be there. And I've even heard, and this is an ESPN thing, that he will ruin the tank job by coming back and playing and winning games because he's not going to like play to lose. Now, I get that. Awesome. Great. The Bucks can make some moves around him and still put a pretty solid team out on the floor. But on top of that, they have the swap with the New Orleans Pelicans. Both teams are pretty bad right now. I mean, the Bucks, in a sense, when Giannis does play, are not as bad as the record shows. But they have lost 7 in a row. They're a fringe play-in team right now. But he's got another year on his deal, and then he has a player option after that. So he technically couldn't be a free agent until 2027, the end of that season. Not the end of this season, the end of the following season, right? So you look at these trades. Here's the 6 that they've put out there that this is what is being sent or something like that. Giannis and Miles Turner to Golden State for Jimmy Butler, Pods, Jonathan Kuminga, and 5 first-round picks. 4 of them and 1 swap. Now, I saw your face light up. And this is what I tell people all the time. So when's the last time you heard of someone in the late 20s at around 30 getting drafted in the first round and being good?
Yeah.
Never. Right. So these picks, because Giannis is going to play for another maybe 5 years at least. Steph's got another couple of years under him.
Right.
So these picks are going to be late first rounders, basically a second round pick.
Yeah, that's a problem with it.
And Jimmy Butler tore, I believe, he's done for the season.
Oh, I think he's done.
Yeah, he might be. So then Jonathan Kuminga, who's been throwing a fit over there, and Pods, who's a Wisconsin native, I get it, but it's like, I don't want to do that.
You want good picks. That's what you want. That's the most intriguing from it. And if there's any deal for Giannis, it has to be picks. You're not getting any player equivalent that's really going to equal Giannis.
Right. And that's the thing that bugs me is like picks don't mean anything. Whatever team he's going to, you're going to be picking in the late 20s. So what's the point?
It's got to be a bad team, lots of picks if this exists.
It's got to be young players, but you can't because he's a super max. So
like
look at the Luka trade. Luka for AD. That it was star for star. You can't just now, as I say that, look at what the Knicks put up, right? There's this deal out there that there will be a 3-team trade where the Knicks get Giannis and Drew Holiday. Portland, because the Bucks don't want Cat, it'll be Cat, Mikal Bridges, and Deuce McBride. The Bucks get Jeremy Grant, who we don't want, and that's a long-term contract that is pointless. I don't understand why they would get him. Matisse Thybulle, who's absolute trash. No offense to Matisse Thybulle, great defender, nothing on offense, and Gershon Yabusele, who's a big from the Knicks, right? The faces you make, exactly. So you get three first-round picks, a return swap with the Blazers, and then 2 Knicks picks. And it's like, none of that. Right. The first-round pick is from the Wizards. Okay, but it's top 8 protected. Like, okay, whatever. And then the other one is the best pick between the Bucks, Blazers, and Celtics, but that's in 2029. Like, so we got to be bad for 3 or 4 years before we can get a pick. Like, none of that makes sense to me.
I like the Golden State deal more than that.
Right, and I don't even like that one. So now this is the only one that it gives you picks and young players. So he goes to Miami. You get Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, 2 young players, right? Hero's obviously Wisconsin. 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and Terry Rozier to make money match. Now, a lot of people say Tyler Hero can't be a number 1, and Khalil Ware is just an up and comer, right? Now you make me think, okay, we're going to be bad. We don't have our own first round pick down the line, and we're getting picks from the team that gets good because they have Giannis. Again, where's Miami with these same exact players? They're like middle of the pack. They're playing teams, right? So the big one here. So the Wolves and the Raptors work with the Bucks, right? So the Timberwolves get Gary Trent, Thanasis, and Giannis. Milwaukee gets R.J. Barrett, Rob Dillingham, which is key to me. Joan Beringer, which, Julius Randle, and Terrence Shannon Jr. So you do get multiple young players, and then you get 2 first-round picks, 2 first-round swaps with the Wolves, and then 3 second-round picks. Now, and the Raptors get Jaden McDaniels and Cole Anthony. So with this one, you get R.J. Barrett, who's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's good.
Rob Dillingham, who's a young player, and you get Julius Randle, who's going to give you 20 and 10 on top of those picks. Now, this deal
I like this one.
I would probably do, and Minnesota's going to be, I don't know who beats them. If you don't leave, like, all you're doing is basically swapping a young guy who doesn't get enough minutes and Julius Randle, like, Rudy Gobert and Giannis on the front lines is nuts.
Yeah, and you have Kermit Wiltz, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Hitting threes and whatnot. Like, that would be insane. Yeah, I mean, you have Giannis and Gobert. That's crazy.
Right. So now they call this the wild card, and I'm not completely against this one, as I was against most of these. Philadelphia sends Paul George to match salaries, 2 first-round picks, and VJ Edgecombe. And I'm like, oh, VJ Edgecombe, he's already a star. And he was the number 3 pick. I think he went off for like 40 or something in one of his first games. Like, he's a stud. So now I'm thinking, okay. Like,
is he the guy from Duke? Or where's this guy
I think
from?
so. I think Duke. I think you're right.
Oh, yeah, because he played pretty darn good in March Madness. I want to say like 2 years ago.
Sorry, Baylor.
Oh,
Baylor.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they still got the Duke guy.
Let me throw up the numbers here. Yeah, he came out of the gate with some big numbers. Where is that game?
I always thought Philly, once they were healthy, was actually going to be pretty good.
It was 34. He put up 34 in his first game against Boston. Like, the dude he's a stud. Like, on a team where they've got Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, he's averaging 15 points a game. Like,
that's solid.
Yeah, that's pretty solid for a rookie. Like, kind of nuts.
Surprise score more now that they're without George.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then they throw in this Cleveland package where it's Lonzo Ball, Evan Mobley, who's a big guy, young guy, and just 1 first-round pick. And I'm like, why is this even Evan Mobley's good, but who cares? Like, that's insane.
That's not enough. I like the Minnesota deal, actually. That one's pretty cool.
Me too. So this writer says the Bucks should go for the VJ Edgecombe deal because then they get a franchise star. And to be honest, I agree. I agree. Because every other deal, you're getting older players. Unless you get that Rob Dillingham. If you get Dillingham, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle, you're a playoff team.
Okay.
The only problem I have with it, we already have 2 guards. Everyone likes Ryan Rollins. I'm not the biggest fan, but he's a young stud, and we have him controlled for a couple years. And then Kevin Porter Jr., KPJ, like another young guard. That's why I'm like, man, if we could get Dillingham, move one of them to the bench, and then Julius Randle just pops into the Giannis spot.
Right.
On top of that, with RJ Barrett at the 3, you still have Bobby Portis, Kuzma, and Miles Turner. That's a solid 8.
Yeah.
Or actually a solid 9.
Right. Yeah,
So
no, that's a solid group.
right. I'm down for either one. Obviously, I don't want Milwaukee to actually lose Giannis, but if it comes down to that where he actually says, "Hey, trade me," which I just heard Doc Rivers say on the broadcast, which I thought was slightly disrespectful by what was it? Was it Peacock? No, it was ESPN. Literally at the beginning of the game, they have him come over pregame and they ask him about the trade. And I'm like, and he literally goes, just so you all know, Giannis has said it that like he loves Milwaukee, he wants to play here.
Yeah.
We're all, and his exact words, which I'm gonna paraphrase, was like, I'm so tired of this. Like, I can't wait until the trade deadline and everyone's here. Like, and I start cracking up. I'm like, wow, go ahead, give him some beef, Doc. Because a young coach probably couldn't do that.
Right. No, that's spot on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ESPN is going to manipulate and form their own stories. They're going to create them, and they're not going to be true.
Right.
So, yeah, I get where they're coming from on that. So, yeah, it's good to see Doc Rivers throw it right back at him. But, yeah, Giannis is great, and if you're trading great, you better get some great in return somehow, some way. And either has to be on-the-court talent or future picks, and you are a bad basketball team. Can't be middle of the road or great. Can't be either of those. It has to be bad. It has to be bad for great in Giannis, or we actually have to get a future franchise star.
Right. So and that's why that Timberwolves trade, amazing, or VJ Edgecombe, because you don't want to, like, you trade them to Golden State and they give you their picks. It's like, well, you're good. These picks don't mean anything.
It's average. Yeah.
Give me a star. Jonathan Kuminga does not count.
Yeah, and I'll be honest too. I mean, Golden State in the not too distant future, if they just keep everyone they got now, they will be a bad basketball team. They are not that far from being bad. They really aren't. The rest of the West is good.
Right. And not only that, I mean, these guys are old.
State.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be a really tough, well-operated team. I mean, Golden State and Minnesota are the creme de la creme, and it's not too far in the future that, like, Dallas is going to be back to being a thing. So,
Agreed.
Yeah, like, between them, you got Houston. Those 4 teams are like, that's the future of the NBA for the foreseeable future, are those 4 franchises. So I don't even care. I mean, yeah, give Golden State Steph Curry. Portland will have what's his name who used to play for us. But like
Dame Lillard.
Yeah, Dame Lillard. Like, you got shooters up in the Pacific Northwest, but they're not going to win anything. Like, you got to have a nasty, nasty team, and those 4 teams are about to have 4 nasty teams.
Agreed.
Cool. Well, I think that's what we got for the night. Yeah, we'll be back here next week, same time. Check us out. We'll be posting some clips to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, all that jazz. You can see us here next week, 7 p.m. Central. I'm Steve Metrics. That's your boy,
DJ Triggs.
And that's No Debate.